What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I Hate Average Podcast back with another week, another episode. Man, thank you guys so much for the continued support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been an amazing last couple of weeks. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's good or bad, but it seems like more people are listening right now. So I'm excited about that. I don't know what drew you on, but I'm excited that you're here. Please continue to rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on SoundCloud, even on our website averagej.com. Let us know you're listening. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, how we can make it better. Of course, I've been telling you guys for the past couple of weeks about the merch. We finally got a couple of things up. You can go on constructiverandomness.com. Once again, you can go on constructiverandomness.com. You'll see some of the merch for our podcast, and helping us is going to help us add a video component. So please support us there so we can start upgrading and getting things better and having some visuals for you guys to look at as along with listening to the podcast when you're on the go. All right, so we got Samara the Poet this week. Samara the Pvssy Poet. She is a great creative writer. She specializes in eroticism, but she's very, very extremely creative and very, very open-minded. So I wanted to speak to her, and I just wanted to talk about, which was what we spoke about, was about just being open and being your true self. Of course, you're gonna have naysayers, and we talked about that, and we just talked about how just to be yourself and how you could tap into your creativity. We talked into that. We talked about relationships a little bit, and she even gave us a sample of her work, and which was definitely phenomenal. She just had it off the top of her head, and it was definitely phenomenal. You guys are gonna enjoy that. So here's my conversation with Samara. Very creative, exciting guest. You got Samara the Poet. How you doing, Samara?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great myself. I'm excited, happy to get you on. You have a very, very creative vibe about you, so I just wanted to, hear about you, get your story. So, how did everything get started? How did you get involved with creative writing?
I've been involved in creative writing since as long as my brain can remember, honestly. I come from a line of teachers and poets and writers and authors, so it was kind of a hereditary thing, I guess.
Okay,
But my own personal passion developed for poetry when I was in the first grade, because that's when I entered my first poetry slam. And I've just been attached to the pen since then.
okay, I feel you. So what? Because you, of course, the topics that you touch on, you are very, very open. So what made you start, like, from just being a writer? What made you become comfortable with just being so expressive? How did you become more confident?
I've always been this expressive. I've always been this confident. I've always had this attitude about myself that exudes. I really don't care for negative opinions.
Okay.
If you have time to take out time and make a negative opinion about me, then something is missing on your end.
That's very, very true. I,
Hmm.
I totally agree. Well, and also congratulations. I see that you're writing now for a magazine. Can you talk about that? How you
Yes.
got started with What's Good magazine?
So yep. So I was just spending a regular day scrolling down Instagram, and then I get a phone, not a phone call, a message in my DM from someone on the page
Okay.
saying that they'd seen me perform, and that's how they found my social media, and then they see that I model as well. From looking at the social media, it's like they think that um I'd be a great fit for what they have going on, so they would connect me with the editor, the CEO, and let me know what's going on from there. So literally like 2 to 3 days after that, he calls and he's like, "Yeah, we need you. So this is what I need you to do, and I know you can do it because you've done more than that from what I've been told already. I'm hearing so many great things about you. We haven't even met yet. I'm very excited." And I'm just like, ah,
Yeah. I definitely.
thank, thank everybody. So that's literally exactly how it happened. Somebody saw me performing somewhere, and then social media, and now I'm here.
Okay, okay, that's a great thing. Congrats again, and
Thank you.
I'm sure it's gonna be some great things coming out of that collaboration.
Definitely. They're
So
gonna allow me to do poetry and a Q&A that I get to do, answering some questions from fans in part of the column, and also do the presentation of my photos as far as the modeling goes.
okay, that's definitely is gonna be interesting. So how much, like with the column, how much because you're so expressive and you're so open, I'm sure you get a lot of questions. So can you talk about some of like the main questions that you get from fans or women?
The most frequent question that I come across is normally questions about my sexuality.
Mm,
Everybody wants to know exactly where I stand for those that don't actually know.
okay,
But I identify as poly.
okay.
Um, all for the sharing and the love.
So just basically it's just open. It's no
Yeah, yeah. No
what.
restrictions. Well, not a lot of restrictions, rather say.
So what made you
I'm
come to
not one for monogamy.
what made you because you're a young woman and I see you have. It sounds like you have a West Indian background because your accent. So
Yep,
what made you come to that conclusion? Because that's not a common conclusion coming from your culture.
it's not, and I really honestly feel I was born this way.
Mm,
Um, Growing up is like I'm more so gravitated towards feminine energies rather
okay.
than the masculine ones. I didn't really start getting into guys until I got to high school.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but I just I found that myself in a monogamous situation never really works out.
Do you think it's
Like,
because of the constraints? Like you don't really like being constrained?
yeah, it has part to do with that, and then also it's that, well, I'm a Gemini, so I'm very bounce around energy. I'm flipping, I'm changing paces every day, and I don't really get to experience that being with just one person, like one guy or one woman. It's like no, 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 I can't.
So
Rather than having the freedom for the collective of us to be with each other and enjoy each other and uplift each other. It's just a lot more freeing, it's a lot more expressive, and not for nothing, the sex is way more amazing than just monogamous stuff.
well, can I ask just a personal question? Why do you think that? Because
Because threesomes are fun. Sharing is caring. I gotta say that 2 times. Sharing is caring. Okay. The situation is always better when there's two women involved, when they respect each other.
true, true. True. And I'm sure because you're poly, it kind of contributes more to your creativity because you're so open minded, you don't have the constraints. So when you grab the pen or you grab your laptop to write, it's kind of, you don't have no limitations.
Nope.
Yeah.
I write about whatever I want, whenever I want, worded exactly how I want to, and it's perfect.
Yeah. I think that's amazing. Like what can you say to people who are creative but they're kind of holding themselves back because they might be afraid of people's opinions?
I say, and feel no offense, fuck people. People gonna always talk. People need things to talk about. That's what they think their mouths are for. Just to be able to push around negativity and downgrade people and give you insecurities. Don't pay attention to none of that shit. Because at the end of the day, even if they feel a way about what you write, what you say, how you look, whatever, they still looking. You get paid for views, honey. They still clicking on your profile. You get paid for that. So go on and hate if you want to. Go ahead. It's still supporting me. Thank you. Say thank you to the people. Don't shy away from the people. Say thank you to the people.
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. And I think other people, to be on it, I guess, go on the negative side. I think people judge because they're afraid. I think people are
Hmm.
kind of jealous, like especially someone like you, they might be jealous that they are not as open minded, or they feel that they can't be as creative, so they get jealous. So that's why they criticize it. Oh, why is she like that? It's because they kind of wish they can be like that.
Yeah. That's a part of the reason why I started doing the type of like expressive poetry that I do, because just having like different sets of friends around, and my cousins and coworkers and everybody's just like they're so secretive to their partners in the world, but then when we're among, it's just girls. It's girl, I did this and I did this and I did this, and thank you for telling me about this because I tried that and he loved it. We're getting married next week. Okay, great. But it's like I I'm not gonna say I feel or I pity them. It's like I like being that voice. I
Mm,
like being the person that's saying what everybody feels they can't say or they
mm.
quote unquote shouldn't say because society that messed up their brains in some way somehow. Like, I like to be the one that lives without restrictions. So if you feel like being in that spotlight and speaking like that and moving like that is too much for you, I will kindly let the world know what you gotta say and literally know that it came from you.
So, what, like you said, you feel that maybe like females might be secretive. Why do you think that people are, especially if you're having a partner, why do you think people are so secretive with their partners when they're being intimate with them, but they kind of can't speak their mind?
It's most unlikely a fear of judgment,
Mm.
people's thoughts, people's opinions, which yet again, fuck people. Because them people not in the room when you in there busting it open for a real nigga. They're not there. So why does that matter? When you have this partner of yours screaming Holy Mary, the people is not there. It's just you and that person that you bring in extreme joy to. So why do you care about people?
That's true.
If anything, they're probably vexed because you have one leg cocked up in a way they can't reach.
Yeah, you're right. You're
So,
right. So what's so about your poetry? Do you speak from when you are mostly your writings about your experiences or just your thoughts and fantasies?
I like to write from experience because I feel like it's more authentic.
Okay.
And when I'm writing from my personal experience, it doesn't ever really feel like I'm writing.
Mm,
It's just me finding a way to get my brain on the paper in front of me or the pad in front of me.
okay.
Rather than if I'm like given something to write about and I have no idea, I have to sit there and ponder on it. I might catch writer's block. It might take me about an hour to write a piece. But if it's like free, if it's mine, I don't have to think about what I'm gonna say. I don't have to think about what the lineup is or how things should happen because it already happened.
That's true. That's true. I feel you on that. So when you're gonna be writing in the magazine, are they gonna be mostly from your experiences, or are you gonna be speaking fantasy, and answering questions mostly from the perspective of the viewers.
I'm gonna stick to my original pen and write what I know.
Okay.
I'm going to give the world a little microscope to see into Samara, to let them see what's really going on. But
Okay.
outside of the explicit pieces, I'm also going to be writing more cultural, the more calm, PG-13. Just to switch it up, because that's one issue that I have with um performing as many explicit poems as I do, and even with just having the name, the Pussy Poet,
Yeah.
everybody, not everybody, a majority of the people that I come across, they feel like that's just it, the Pussy Poet,
Yeah.
forgetting that Samara is the Pussy Poet. So not every time you see me on somebody's stage, I'm up here to make your panties wet
Yeah.
or to make your rock go up. I'm really
You
gonna
just being
enlighten you. I'm gonna
yourself.
stand up here and talk my shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
if we could switch it up, I could switch it up. I'm gonna switch it up. Let's switch it up.
That's a good thing. So basically, I think that's important because people might view you as something just because of the topics of some of your things, but I think it's going to be important when you have the column that you could just show the variety that you could be that and also have opinions on what's going on in culture and politics and things like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
People
So
definitely like to try to slap different labels on me just because of the name, just because of the poetry. And I just be like, okay, great. But you still watching.
it's true.
Thank you.
So do you? I know it's kind of impromptu and we didn't plan it, but do you have like a short writing that you could share with us?
Sure. That's never a problem.
Okay, okay,
All right. So right now,
yeah. Whenever you get it ready, you got it.
I'm always ready.
Okay, okay,
All right. Right now, I
yeah.
want to be choked and I want to be fucked. And I want to be laying on my back, getting my toes sucked, and I want to be touched so rough, baby, because I'm tough, baby, and I like to be slapped. Once you start pulling my head and it's a fucking rap, and you beat this pussy, baby, you beat it till I tap. And even if I do, please don't let me stop things. Stick still out, get me on my knees, go nuck if you buck, if you tough, then do stuff like go down the hole and fuck my throat with that pole. Get crazy, baby, hips rotating, dick pulsating. I hear you saying fuck, shit. Oh my god, and damn girl, I stare you right in your eyes, pop it out of my mouth and give the head a swirl like, ooh, wait, this shit is sweet. Dick tastes good with a little hint of me. Now while you're there froze with clenched toes and eyes closed tight, I'm playing in my pool, splashing water for your water slides, and I want to be stopped. I want you to pull out of my mouth and keep me kneeling and restrain my hands and spank me. Spank me, throat hold, then grab me, spank me and whisper, this is how you'll have me. See, I can't touch this pussy without asking daddy. You shove a finger inside and we both moan. My pussy is talking, she's ready to go. Back still arched, high, hands still tied. Your fingers slide out, now your tongue is inside, and I feel the warmth slide out and in. And damn, baby, this feels good as shit. I get goosebumps when it circles my clit, when I'm grinding my wetness all over your chin. My moans are getting loud and my breath is getting heavy. You zone and on my clit so slow and so steady, my eyes closed so tight I didn't even see you making your way to eat this pussy, and I gasp at the feel of your warm breath against me. You suckle in my spot so good I get antsy like, oh wait, and then I woke up. But right now, I want to be choked and fucked.
That's amazing. I didn't think. How did you have? You just had it on the top of your head, or that's one
No,
of
that's
the.
an old piece.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So how often do you perform, or do you just perform when people just book you, or is it like specific spots around the city that you perform at?
I used to perform just doing open mics until I got discovered. And after that, it's I still do open mics, humbly just to be around like energies and like-minded people.
Okay.
But I do go out to do different types of shows, events, even a few charity events. And I'm not always in the city. I definitely travel around when I'm booked out of state. I'll
Okay.
go, do what I gotta do and come back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you
So I
definitely.
like mostly traveling in the summer because during the school year I teach, so I can't really be all over the place.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're very, very talented, very expressive, very creative. Like I said before, which this is the reason why I wanted to talk to you in the first place. So, what's something before we leave? What's something that you could tell creators that to to get them to just to get started? Because it's people who want to write, who want to do different creative things, but they're kind of afraid or they don't know if they really could do it. So, what's something you would tell them to get them started?
Build a wall of Legos and write insecurities across the Legos and then kick that shit down and leave it there.
Mm.
Don't let nobody tell you nothing about your greatness because then you're letting everybody determine what your greatness can be. You're shortchanging yourself.
Mm. That's powerful. Can you let people know how they could reach out to you, how they could hear some of your things, some of your works, how they could purchase your works? Just how can people get a glimpse of Samara?
So you can find me on social media. My Instagram is Samara, Samara _ the pussy with a V instead of a U dot poet. That's Samara the Pussy Poet. Outside of that, if you would like to catch any of my poetry, make sure to look out for What's Good magazine coming to a stand near you. For booking information and any personal poetry that you may want written for you, you can click the email link in my Instagram bio or send me an email at samaranakihari@gmail.com. That's SAMARANAKIHARI @gmail.com.
Nice. Thank you so much for your time, Samara. I think you're really gonna
Thank
help people
you.
get started with being creative.
There you have it. There you have it. That's my conversation with Samara the poet, Samara the pussy poet. Man, she was definitely inspirational. And like I said, I wanted to just talk to her about being open minded, and she definitely gave a lot of great feedback. I hope you guys enjoyed it and got some value out of it. Continue to support her, check out her works, book her to your events. As always, rate, review, subscribe on the podcast. I Hate Average Podcast. Go on the website, averagej.com. Go on constructiverandomness.com. Buy some merch. What else? How else can you support? Tweet me, good old Jason on Twitter. Uh, Follow us on social media on Instagram. I Hate Average Podcast on Instagram. I Hate Average JY on Snapchat. We're everywhere. Follow us on YouTube. I Hate Average Podcast. Just searching on YouTube. We're there. We're everywhere. Thank you guys for continued support. Talk to you guys next week.